like Billy, come on. The first thing he said was that he was struck by the notion that I wasn't a jazz baby, because I was honest about that. I didn't grow up listening to Art Blakey and Elvin Jones and any of the other drummers that I might steal blatantly from now. So you don't have to either. If you're 18, 19, 20 years old and you just got hip to Art Blakey last year, it's okay. If you're a piano player and you still don't know, still can't tell Tommy Flanagan from Kenny Barron, it's okay. You know, but when you hear these names, don't think we're just trying to impress you with our level of knowledge. Every time we say a name that you don't know about, you should go and find a record by that person. And listen to it and say, you know, oh, I remember when, I guess you were still around, when Kaya was here. And she'll tell you this story too. She loves Kenny Barron now, right? But when I first started, we were doing a listening session and I was talking about Kenny Barron, and she was like, oh, Kenny Barron, I don't know, I heard a record from him and sounds like he plays the same stuff all the time. I was like, you have no idea how ignorant you sound. Right? And it's okay to not know, but don't act like you know when you don't know, when you haven't been around long enough to really know. So I was like, go check out Kenny Barron's solo on, I think it was the solo on Without a Song from The Kicker. I said, and when I come back in 3 months, if you can play it, if you can play it, then okay, you're entitled to feel that way about Kenny Barron. And when I came back, she had seen the light. So it was, and he's one of the baddest cats, and he's very close in style to Tommy Flanagan. You know, he very much comes from, oh, what did I break? Comes from Tommy Flanagan musically. So this whole professionalism topic was to open up a discussion for me to be able to talk to you guys about why I'm here, why we're here, so that you can take another look at why you're here. Some of you have just got here. Some of you are on your way out the door. And just got here. Well, see, this is what it is. You know, it's funny that he says that, because the thing is, as you're on your way out the door, that's when you realize, shit, I just got here. Right? The first year, you know, foreplighting comes and you wish you could study privately, and if you're lucky, you could sit in on other people's lessons. Like I have an open door policy with my private lessons. And if you make first year right away, then you don't understand why this is a private lesson with Ralph Peterson and there's 6 other people in the room, right? But because we only get to gather together 4 times a year, I think it's unfair to limit our exposure to each other to one 45-minute lesson in 7 days. That's what is that? Hour and a half, an hour. That's like 3 hours a year. You know? You can't even, this music is like a cold. In order to get it, in order to catch it, you gotta be exposed to it, right? So I open my door always. I come back in June. If you're not a drummer, still come and hang out. I might put you to work, right? You know, you hang out in the lesson long enough, we'll play. We'll end up playing together. So, oh, there was something else I wanted to talk about. Any questions? Any more comments about professionalism? Or being a student, or getting ready to get out of here and how that feels. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, from my man Bart Jan, who's whose end exam I'm going to miss. It'll be like, I think, the first drummer's end exam that I've ever missed, right? But he wasn't too sold on me when we first met. Don't let him fool you now. He was like, really? I mean, really? And then, I don't know when it happened, and I don't have to know when it happened. It may not have even happened while I was here. But there's a moment that happens in your life as a student where some player or some music or some experience on the bandstand touches you and changes you, right? George is like playing his ass off. He's always been quiet, but I don't think I heard him play until like last fall. Really heard him play. So part of what you have to learn is to put yourself out there and not be so shy. I know that culturally, a lot of our Asian brothers and sisters are not used to that demand, right? So we people who don't struggle with that ought to be more encouraging and include them, because they'll come in and sit around and not say anything and soak up all the information, right? But shyness is not an Asian thing, Pavel's not really an outspoken cat. He really wasn't when he first came on my radar. I was like, who is this guy? This uptight, classical trombone type cat. Who is he? But Pavel's got ears like radar. So, I'm going around the room and I'm talking about people. Goran's another one with radar. Goran he used to. So who knows who the next hear it, play it back at you, tell you what it is as soon as you hear it person is going to be. They usually end up grading a lot of the paperwork, right? Another thing, to drummers in particular, we've kind of gone to a little trouble to make sure that the instruments have all they need for them to be at least playable. When you see drum heads as old as these, go to Steve and say, I would like to put new drum heads on the drums. And I saw Steve changing drum heads Tuesday morning. I'm like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. You guys are supposed to do that. Right? If the piano in 315 is out of tune, tell somebody. Right? Because I heard somebody refer to it as the bebop room yesterday. Yeah, check that. And it wasn't a term of endearment.
There can only be one person.
That's okay, but we're going to keep, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. So we're going to keep names out of this thing. But do you want the music you're studying referred to in that manner because of the manner in which the room is kept? So, like I was telling the guys in another class, listen, everybody listen. Okay, shh. Okay, I'll get up. Listen. That's the sound of one hand clapping. The sound of one hand clapping never makes a noise. So if you find yourself in a situation that's like uncomfortable, make sure that you're not the other hand. Because it takes two to make a sound. So maybe like, oh, don't go in there. That's the bebop room. You can't go in there and play around. Those cats are serious. You can't be beating up on the piano.